All right, what's going on, everyone? I am Ernest Dove. This is an impromptu New York Mets Dove report. I'm still not even feeling that well, recovering from living out my high school tennis dreams, and ended up breaking rib and a little shoulder action injury. And I think it's time for a rant because it's kind of cold, South Florida, low 60s, it's like freezing. It's early, and I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's do my little Frank the Tank portion of what is going on with the New York Mets. Because I would finally like to know. I am known as the shill, the positive this. I'm sniffing everyone's butts, the owner, Stearns. Maybe it's time for me to say, what are we doing? I tried to talk to some of my sources. I do have a few, not many. The Diaz situation again. I was told they had no idea. They figured he was coming back. They were shocked, and they were wrong about what Diaz really wanted. As far as Diaz, it was more just the word surprise. So I don't know if the Mets were surprised that he got such a big deal that they were never going to go, or if they were surprised that maybe Pete Alonso never wanted to check back with them. It could be one or the other. I'm kind of thinking they don't want to pay the years no matter what, because here we are. Everybody they're linked to at this point that might be somewhat realistic seems like a bunch of 1-2 year deal guys. This new thing about Scooble at the moment, I don't believe it. I know the thing with last year with Crochet, when I was only told it was going to be a whole lot of prospects that I was going to be sad about, and they never ended up doing it for Crochet. I don't know if they're going to do it now for Scooble. Maybe if Steve Cohen is pissed enough, like when they did that thing. I remember the commenters mentioning about the situation some years back with Mats, and they tried to kind of acquire a bunch of guys. That didn't work. But what are the Mets doing? We no longer have our homegrown guys. Nimmo's gone. Diaz was technically becoming homegrown at that point for being around so long. He's gone. The home run king is gone. What's the identity of the New York Mets? What are they known for right now as a roster, besides being a circus and issues about the clubhouse? Are they known for their defense? They signed a reigning Gold Glover in his mid-30s, so I hope that works out. He may have a bit of a rebound, hopefully. That'd be nice. But what are we doing? Are they good at defense? Are they good at offense? Are they going to hit a bunch of homers? I don't know. It would be nice if Francisco Alvarez was on the field for over 100 games. He'd probably be one of the top offensive catchers in baseball if he made it that far. I love the idea of Brett Beatty. I love the idea of him since he was in A-ball, and he was a natural power guy that I thought was going to be a 20-25 home run guy, hit for average with on-base percentage. He actually has exceeded my expectations defensively now, but nobody trusts Brett Beatty still to this point because he's technically been around so long. Vientos, we know. You don't got to tell me about the glove. I'm the one who told you guys about his glove when he was in low A for an affiliate that no longer exists. Shout out Fireflies. So I don't know if he's going to hit 30 home runs, and if he did, where as a DH? Is he replacing Pete Alonso as the first baseman? That's going to piss off Mets fans because they're not going to see it as being good enough. The outfield, you know how I feel. I feel Carson Bench is the future. It doesn't mean I want him to break camp. I've said it. I don't think he's going to pull an Alonso in 2019 or whatever. I don't think he just shows up at a camp and deserves the roster spot. So they better go sign an outfielder. But if they get one of these guys, nice glove, in his 30s, he's going to hit a few home runs and platoon with Taylor. That's not a playoff team either. So I don't know what they're doing. You can move Bench to the corner, but then for who? Louis Robert again? We're bringing this up. If he's actually healthy, he wasn't even doing well anyway recently. He hit a nice spurt, possibly thinking he was leaving. I don't know if it's a motivation thing for him, if that'll reincarnate his old amazing self with a new organization. Maybe pull a Javi Baez in the form of 2 months when he was traded to the Mets. Maybe he'll have a resurgence. But who are you even trading away? to get Louis Robert coming off bad seasons, due $20 million. That's probably not working out. None of this makes sense to me. And even from a fandom perspective, what are we cheering on? Computers? You know I'm old. I complain about the metric stuff anyway. Don't even look at me when it comes to FIP. I'm going to mock you and I'm going to debate you because I don't care about that stat. But if the computers are going to determine the active roster every year outside of Lindor and Soto, is that the plan? Because I'm not much of a fan if that's the plan. I'll just watch St. Lucie Mets games and enjoy the minor leagues because I know they're going to be different players anyway because it's different kids getting drafted. But I don't need the Mets to have 26 to 40 new guys every year outside of the top two that you want to market. So unless, hopefully, I'm all wrong, right? Maybe Stearns is coming up with a transition period to create his own new core players from his drafts. Maybe. I mean, Benj already went from getting drafted by him to being a top 50 MLB prospect in 1 year. So that's how good it could be. I believe A.J. Ewing can be an everyday player. Now, some of the arms, he didn't draft them, but he's got 1 million of them coming up. And Stearns and his player development department has been changing everybody's arsenal. They're all changing pitches, grips, going from hard slider, from sweeper to hard. Everyone's changing pitchers. Everybody's adding a cutter. You can still kind of credit Stearns for doing all that. So one way or another, you can consider the prospects of the top farm system kind of his guys almost at this point because he's changing everyone, including the hitting lab, where you have the poster child of a guy like Jacob Reimer, guys like Jonathan Enriquez, Randy Guzman, who came out of nowhere from the year prior, dominating 2025. Give him the credit. I'm going to attempt to give credit from the farm system. But from the major league perspective, field the team that we know. It doesn't look like they're going to pick the name brand guys. This isn't the Wilpon era guys. They're not going to sign guys that are 39 and won an all-star something 10 years ago that they're going to make Gare report on during SNY to market. No. So I don't know what else they're doing. You guys can tell me. You guys, this is my ranting video. You guys comment. You tell me what you actually want to see. Am I right or wrong? Should the Mets just start completely over? Should they sign everybody else's stars? Should they have a version of a rebuild and retool and just create their own stars? Figure it out with McLean, Benj, try Jet, even on the bullpen. Are we going to keep doing this with a bunch of aging veterans to fill out the rest of the pen? Or are they going to trust rookies? I love Dylan Ross and Ryan Lambert. I think they're going to be pitching in 2026 for the Mets. Probably more on IL stint replacements, more than thinking they're going to be in the core and in the high leverage situations on the 7th, 8th, 9th inning outside of Devin Williams. Even as a prospect hugger, I kind of know it's a rebuild if you think any of these guys are going to help the team right now, day one. So, who else? What stars are they bringing in? You tell me. I don't know who it is. I'm not believing anything at this point. Kyle Tucker, the Bellinger stuff, if Bellinger can play first base, it all sounds great to me, but if they need 5, 6, 7-year deals, are the Mets giving out another 7-year deal, or is that only for Lindor and Soto to apparently fight over? Because that's all I know. Are they going to be the only guys with 5+ year deals at the end of this winter? I guess we'll find out. I'm going to keep snooping around. I'm hoping never to rant again. I don't know what else to say. I can pretend to be positive. Rule 5, some of my favorite guys were not drafted. I'm excited. I think Saul Garcia is going to be in the Mets bullpen as well, along with Lambert and Ross. I just don't know if Garcia is ever going to throw enough strikes to be a future Jeurys Familia or a future Daniel Nunez for the Mets. That's his potential in my opinion. Don't know if it's going to happen because, again, I'm not even being positive right now. Too stressed over everything with this stuff. You guys let me know if I should even ever make this video again. But does anyone think this is going to work out? Beyond the we all hate everyone, don't do that. Just let me know, is this team going to be on a good track to get back to being over 500 again every year like they were supposed to when Cohen took over. Let me know in the comments. And if you say scrap this video and never do it again, Dub, you're an idiot, I'll do that too. Thank you.